And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds. All right, so welcome, everybody, to another Chainlink live stream. I just want to first off thank the SET Protocol, Chainlink, and blockchain community for joining us today. Special shout out, of course, to Anthony Sassano, the Director of Marketing for SET, for joining us and taking his time. He's a busy guy, so definitely appreciate him stopping by. And then, of course, everybody already knows Johan, who's it's 4 a.m. in Paris, France. And he's burning the midnight oil to join us today, so special shout out to him as well. Just to let everybody know, kind of the goal of the Q&A is just really to allow the community to really explore what SET Protocol is doing, what this integration looks like, and why it's beneficial to both teams. So for the first kind of 30 minutes here, we'll do kind of a Q&A structure. We'll ask questions to both parties and allow everybody to respond. And then if we have a few minutes left, we'll get to some of your kind of community questions that were asked as well. If you ever have a question that wasn't addressed, please feel free to stop by either the SET Protocol Discord. They have a very popular one where they're great about answering questions. Chainlink, we also have a Discord, Telegram as well. Stop by, ask your questions. We'll do our best to get those answered for you. And then we'll also put all the links in the description as well. So if you want to do a deep dive and do some more research, I'll make sure all that stuff's there so that you can do that. So to start off with, Anthony, would you mind maybe just kind of introducing yourself, a little bit of your background and what you do with SET?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, thank you for having me. Thanks, Chainlink community, for tuning in today. I'm really excited to answer all of your questions. So I guess a bit of background about myself within, I guess, the crypto community. I discovered Ethereum in early 2017, rode the bull up with everyone during 2017, of course, had a lot of fun, and then rode it back down in 2018. I started an Ethereum kind of community called ETH Hub in late 2018, early 2019 with my co-founder, Eric. And then from there, I joined SET in July of 2019 as product marketing manager there. Then recently, as we've been growing over the past few months, got bumped up to director of marketing. So doing a lot more around that, which is really cool. And yeah, since that's basically like the TLDR of my Ethereum journey so far.
Awesome. Well, talk about bullish on your career. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Johan, I think everybody knows you, but if you just let them know what you do for Chainlink.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yes, so I work basically on kind of integrating our tech into DeFi protocols and seeing how Chainlink can be used to solve real problems that DeFi protocols have today. So there are many things that DeFi can do and many things it cannot do. Most of the things it cannot do are limited by technology. And we're working with Chainlink to see how we can enable these use cases to really be created through the use of oracles, through the use of price feed, transparency, security, all of this stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Johan. So the first question I have here is really for Anthony, or the second question, I guess. So SET Protocol, just doing some research. I did some research before, but did some research today as well. It's an Ethereum native DeFi primitive that leverages existing open finance protocols for the bundling of crypto assets into fully collateralized baskets, which are represented as ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's kind of a mouthful, but would you mind kind of maybe breaking that down and really letting kind of the whole community know what is SET Protocol?
Yep, for sure. So I guess SET protocol is inherently a bit more complex than other DeFi protocols that people may be used to, such as lending protocols like Compound and things like that. So I guess the simplest way to explain what SET protocol is and what token sets is tokenized trading strategies. So these sets are basically just ERC20 tokens that live on the Ethereum blockchain. And when you buy into one of these sets through tokensets.com, you're basically buying into this strategy. So for the duration of you holding that set or that token, you get exposure to a trading strategy. So for example, one of our most popular trading strategy right now on token sets is called the ETH 20-day moving average crossover yield set. Now that follows the ETH 20-day moving average and will trade based on that technical indicator. So if it crosses above, it'll buy into ETH. If it crosses below the 20-day moving average, it'll go to CUSDC. So it'll actually go to compound USDC and earn you yield on that as well. And the way to think about it is if this set performs profitable trades, then it will make more ETH or more USD for you. And then when you go to sell your set token, you'll ideally be able to pull out more ETH or more USD than what you put in, essentially. So it's basically a way for anyone to get exposure to a trading strategy automatically. You literally don't have to do anything except hold this token. And you know, you don't have to go on an exchange. You don't have to kind of actively trade yourself. You just hold the token, and all the trading happens in the background. And you know, hopefully, when you like, it's not guaranteed that obviously the strategy will make money, but hopefully, you know, if you hold it for a period of time, and then you come back and you're like, okay, it's time to kind of cash out of this. You've made either more ETH or more USD or whatever kind of benchmark token you're looking to increase your holding of.
Awesome. Very cool. I thought it was a very unique, when I first saw it, I was kind of amazed at how unique that was. It allows you to do kind of advanced things without necessarily having to sit there and maybe live watching your computer screen all day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. It just completely abstracts all that away. You just, you don't have to do anything with the token. You just let it sit in your wallet. You can put it on your ledger or whatever. And then our system in the background handles everything for you. So you can literally set and forget it, as we like to say.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool. I love that. Love that saying. Kind of getting to you, Johan. What does this integration look like from kind of an architecture perspective? I guess how is Set utilizing Chainlink in this case?
Sorry, I wasn't good. for AMAs have yeah. So currently, Set is utilizing the Link USD feed, which we deployed for them for their new token sets. And basically, yes, so that's currently the use case. They're triggering rebalances based on the price of Link. Hopefully, we can find many more ways to work together, because I know that token sets have a huge kind of use case in the ecosystem. Like what you guys are doing could be applied to any token, right? And maybe once we start getting other chains, like maybe Tezos, like maybe Cosmos, which are tokenized onto Ethereum, then people could use token sets to start using also these other chains. That's also interesting, right? To go to a wider audience. So yeah, I think currently we're working on this use case. I hope we can work on many more in the future, because I see a lot of potential there.
Awesome. Thank you, Johan. And I guess, Anthony, from your team's perspective, why did this integration, make sense for you guys?
Yeah, so for us, when we were looking at additional tokens to support on token sets, we kind of saw Link and was like, okay, that's a no-brainer right there. It has deep liquidity, has an awesome community, and Chainlink has the oracles for Link USD. So it was just a no-brainer integration for us. So we reached out, we started integrating, and it was a very smooth process. The Chainlink team is amazing. Made everything super easy for us. So yeah, it was basically an obvious integration for us on the Link USD Oracle, and we're definitely looking into integrating more oracles from Chainlink as time goes on. We currently use Maker oracles for our ETH price and WBTC price, but if it makes sense, we definitely would love to integrate Chainlink on those assets and any new future assets that we decide to support.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. I guess moving on to Johan for the next one. I know we're kind of talking about this price feeds, and we haven't had the opportunity to really do this, but I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. And if you wouldn't mind maybe explaining to people kind of, if they go to feeds.chain.link, maybe what they're actually taking a look at here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's basically what we've been focusing on for the last weeks, months, looking at what the ecosystem needed and delivering on what they needed, right? So we've seen a huge need for projects to access reliable price feeds. Reliable also means transparent, right? It means when someone puts money into a DeFi protocol, and for instance, myself, I'm a huge proponent of DeFi. I think there are many applications there. If I put money into something, I want to see end-to-end what's happening in this protocol, right? So I have this on-chain part, which are the smart contracts. They're audited, they're transparent. Okay. But if these contracts use an oracle and use outside value, I want to know, where does this outside value come from, right? So basically, this feed page is a way for people to have a full transparency over the price feeds that DeFi protocols are leveraging. So Rory, maybe if you go on to ETHUSD, you can see the current price of ETHUSD. You can see all the node operators. You can see the way this price feed is being triggered, which means how this price feed is being updated. So here, every 1% change in the price of Ether off-chain. So basically using the different data aggregators will trigger an update on chain, right? Now, let me go a bit more, and the heartbeat is basically whatever happens every 2 hours will update the price of ETH/USD. This feed will update automatically. Now, to go over the little dots are basically independent blockchain infrastructure teams, which are decentralized from all over the world, right? Some of them, like Certus One, like Ztech, Vitesse, all of these people are actually proof of stake kind of experts. They've been validating on networks such as Cosmos, such as Tezos for years. And basically they're currently staking for some of them more than $100 million of value, right? So these guys are not really people you don't know. you know them completely. Like if you go on their website, you see their teams, you see where they're based, you see their credentials. These people are basically experts. If something happens to their nodes, they have a PagerDuty alert. They wake up at 2 a.m. in the night and they take care of it, you know? And these people are feeding data from multiple different data aggregators. So data aggregator could be CoinMarketCap, it could be Kaiko, it could be BNC, Brave New Call, which feeds into the Bloomberg terminal. At least 7 different data providers are being used on all of these feeds. So we have a decentralization at the data level and at the node operator level. And for instance, I think that any DeFi user, if he puts money into a project, if he puts his hard-earned money into something, he would go on this feed and see, okay, that's the feed that the project is using. I can see who's running what. I can see the current price. I can see where these teams are based. I have full transparency over this, and I'm reassured that I'm putting my money into something which is actually not hiding anything from me, you know? And I think that's super important for DeFi to rise, because the biggest value prop of DeFi for me is openness, transparency, not only the interest rate you get, right? And I think that's it. You know, like if you have these parts, that's super important to get the adoption going. So that's what we've been doing. We have more than 14 users, I think. On the top of my head, we have around 30 different node operators. So these users, sorry, if you can scroll back.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going down.
Yeah.
These users are like Synthetics, Aave, Cell Protocol, of course. So many different users, BZX, who we've been working with to, help as much as we can. On our side, that's the only thing we do, right? We are not a DeFi project. We are not anything like this. We only provide oracles. We only exist to provide the tools to help companies like Synthetics, Aave, Set Protocol, BZX, who are trying to achieve something great. We're just trying to get them the tools they need to achieve this great thing, this kind of world-changing experiment, right? And if you scroll down, you basically see these are the reviewed node operators. Reviewed node operators mean basically that they have credentials, which makes it so that applications like Synthetics, like Set, who are securing millions of dollars of value, can trust that 21 of these node operators will not collude to change the price, will not try to mess with the price feed, because these people are securing hundreds of millions of dollars, for some of them 1 billion for every stake, for instance. So these people are trusty people, which basically are incentivized to secure this value. So that's kind of what you get from this page, if you have my narration behind also.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Johan, for sharing that. And really appreciate that. I know we've never really kind of taken time to walk people through it. So I wanted to take that opportunity this evening. So thank you so much. So getting back to Anthony here, you did mention kind of link-based sets. Would you kind of get into that a little bit more and maybe kind of let people know sort of how that works?
Yep, for sure. So we currently have 3 different link-based sets on the tokensets.com platform at the moment. So we have, there's a difference between robo sets and social trading sets. I'll quickly go over that so people understand what I'm talking about. Robo sets are what we consider like fully automated on-chain sets that basically trade based on the smart contracts. So these sets will trade automatically based on their predefined logic. There's no way to change them unless you were to take over the Ethereum network, which, as we know, is quite hard to do. But yeah, so that's how the robo sets work. Whereas the social trading sets are actually controlled by traders themselves. So we have a bunch of traders on the platform who create their own sets, which is basically tokenizing their own trading strategy, and they'll be able to basically rebalance their sets based on, you know, their own logic. So it's not hard coded into the smart contract. It's basically just a button that they push and they decide when to trade. So currently we have two link sets that are considered robo sets: the link ETH RSI ratio trading set and the link RSI set. You can find obviously both of those on tokensets.com, but I really wanted to focus on one of our social trading sets that has been deployed recently from our social trader, Aaron Kruger. So this set is the link ETH price action candlestick set, and it's actually been extremely profitable recently, which is, you know, what caught our eye especially as well. This is really, really cool. It basically follows a candlestick trading strategy that Aaron Kruger has come up with on his own. I don't think he's publicly published this strategy, I guess for obvious reasons as well. He doesn't want anyone copying his strategy, but you know, it's been really, really good. I think over the last kind of, since he's deployed it over the last, hasn't even been 2 weeks, I don't think, it's up 46% against USD in 2 weeks, which is quite insane. And, you know, this has been really cool to see. It's been fun because you can actually see when he rebalances into ETH or Link and see like how he's actually trading, and, you know, see if he's really bullish on the Link ETH pair or bearish on the Link ETH pair, just based on his allocation within his set. So yeah, that's currently what we have. Where we do plan to deploy more link-based sets in the future as well. And of course, any of our social traders are free to deploy a link-based set at any time. And we love supporting Link on the platform because we're able to do rebalances really easily, because Link actually has liquidity for it. That's one thing that we look for when supporting new tokens is there enough liquidity for these tokens for the rebalances to go off without a hitch? A lot of tokens, unfortunately, are very thin on exchanges, very thin order books. So sourcing kind of people to do the rebalances like market makers and things like that becomes difficult. But with Link, it's actually really easy because Link's on Coinbase and things like that. So, and, you know, is on a bunch of other exchanges too. So yeah, I suggest people to go, you know, check out all of the link sets we have on Token Sets as well, and see which one you want to kind of like buy into. Just a note as well, the robo sets currently don't have any fees associated with them, but the social trading sets do. So it's good to take that into account as well. And that's all available for people on the website too.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. I know I was getting a lot of questions, so I appreciate you explaining kind of how that works, and people now have the opportunity hopefully to check it out for themselves and see if that's something they'd be interested in. Getting back to set, what you guys have built obviously is pretty amazing. Can you let people know maybe what you guys are thinking about working or adding on, maybe near term, long term, but what's that kind of vision look like as time progresses?
Yep. So we've got heaps of things in the pipeline right now. We actually have to kind of like prioritize what we want to do. We get a lot of feedback from our users about what they kind of like want to see on the site and everything like that, and within the platform. I guess if I was to talk about immediate features, we're working on kind of cleaning up the website, making stability and performance improvements, providing more data to people. You know, just today we released a new explore page on Token Sets that lets you see kind of the current allocation of each set. And if it's, you know, we introduced like indicators saying that if the set's bullish or bearish, so it'll be very bullish if it's positioned in 100% like Link, for example. It'll be very bearish if it's positioned in 100% USDC, for example. So, you know, adding more of that to the site, onboarding more high quality social traders as well to get them deploying really unique strategies to the platform for people to buy into. In terms of like the back end stuff, we're working on improving the rebalancing structure for traders. We're planning on introducing different kind of like features there for traders to take advantage of as well, and definitely looking at deploying more robo sets too from our end. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot going on right now. But I think in terms of the biggest features we're going to be introducing, it's definitely just onboarding more traders and getting more sets out there. Definitely looking to support other tokens as well. But as I said, it depends on if these other tokens are liquid, and then we can, you know, be sure that rebalances can go off without a hitch.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. So moving on to the next one, Johan, I'll toss this one to you first, but Anthony, I want your opinion on this one. What's, you know, where do you kind of see sort of DeFi headed, I guess, in the near term? What are maybe some themes or some things you're seeing that maybe excite you personally, Johan? And then I'll ask Anthony the same question.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say where it's headed next, because I feel like DeFi's mission has always been very clear. it's to recreate the kind of traditional system in a blockchain kind of way, so better, more transparent, more decentralized, all of this stuff, right? Now, what I think is going to happen very soon, though, to the DeFi ecosystem, which I think I spoke of a bit earlier, like on the last time we spoke, is that with the current conditions around the world, I think DeFi is going to really stand its first true test as a real alternative to what we have today, right? So we have paper money, which is, I mean, yeah, basically I won't go off too much, but yeah, we have the current system, which seems to be more and more going in a certain direction. And I think for the people who are not interested in that direction, is they could look at DeFi as some kind of, some kind of way to really have their assets, in play, like start with like have a different ways and what you can get in the traditional system, right? And that's going to be DeFi's true test, because currently the people who are using DeFi were historically crypto users, right? And what I'm expecting to see in the recent, like in the next weeks, in the next months, is a new wave of people, because there aren't many things where people can go into right now. Like everything is linked to the traditional system, right? You don't have that many other escapes than this, right? So DeFi would be, in my opinion, one of the only alternatives for many people. And I think that's going to be very interesting to see what kind of experience we get from that. I expect a lot of people might have issues, at first with the UX, UI, and that's going to improve because we'll get experience, we'll get feedback from people who never touched crypto before. And I think that's going to be extremely valuable, right? And as we get more and more users who are running away from all the uncertainties of the traditional systems, then I think it will only strengthen DeFi. And I'm seeing like a new project on a weekly basis, right? Like every week there is a new project which is being created. And I expect this trend to continue and only to grow exponentially as we get the kind of current system failing out and the DeFi system proving more and more that it's resilient. Like with Set protocol, I was actually very impressed because I saw Set, like the time when Set happened, like the kind of crazy crypto events happened, most of the token sets were actually balanced in USD, right? And that gave investors who maybe don't know how to trade, who maybe don't have this experience, a safe hedge against this stuff, right? And I think as we get more and more of these super useful tools for the common average Joe, I think it's going to really propel crypto into the next area, which is the adoption we've been talking about for 10 years now. So yeah, that's kind of my visions there, basically.
Yeah, thank you. I know personally one of the cool things is not only do I see a new project every week, or maybe Anthony, you're as involved in the Ethereum space as anybody. You're probably seeing 17 a week. But the cool thing about it is that they're new, but a lot of times they're actually linking to something else that someone has done using some of these underlying either assets or foundation or infrastructure that's built. And so they very quickly, at least it appears to be, that they're very quickly able to create some kind of new product, but based off of something that already exists. So Anthony, I'd love to hear kind of your sort of take on some things that you're seeing.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I echo, everything that you guys just said there. And, it's really cool. We talk about this kind of composability within DeFi, right? Where, as you were just saying, like a project can come out and already leverage all these existing primitives that exist on Ethereum. And that's exactly what token sets and Set protocol does, right? We leverage existing primitives like DAI, for example, that's already there available for us, or the Link USD Oracle that's there for us already. A bunch of other things like when you buy into a kind of like a set, we actually source liquidity for that buy through either Kyber or 0x. So, utilizing other DeFi protocols already. And, so it's all about, I guess, like those money Legos that people talk about, where you can, pick and choose which Legos you want, mash them together and make this awesome new product that wasn't possible before. So I think that's definitely, I guess, like where DeFi is heading. And we're definitely heading towards more projects coming online that leverage all the existing projects, getting that better adoption out there, making it easier for people to use. Like as you were talking about before, how like when the kind of crypto Black Thursday happened, the token sets were sitting in USDC, and they actually protected a lot of users. And actually, I think a lot of our users were up like 100% against their ETH, even though the market dropped so much, just because that these sets were sitting in USDC. So, that just is really powerful to me. Like, I'm not a trader. I wouldn't know how to trade these things myself, but I do own sets, and they saved me from that event. Even though like I'm a perma ETH bull, I still want to be able to increase my kind of like ETH stack, right? And I don't know how to trade myself, so I put kind of like my trust in these sets and other traders who are experienced to do this for me. So yeah, definitely. And I guess in terms of like the broader DeFi kind of like landscape, I'm definitely looking forward to more scalability improvements with DeFi. We recently saw Loopring Exchange go live with kind of like this optimistic roll-up construction, which is like a scalability improvement. We're going to see more privacy tools come online as well, which is really, really important for this sort of stuff. So I don't see DeFi slowing down at all. It's just all up from here. There is so much potential for this stuff to grow. But I think that for us to get there, we definitely need to make this stuff way easier for people to use and be able to educate people and get it to click in their head within a few minutes. We can't spend like hours educating people because they just lose interest straight away, right? We have to be able to tell them within a few minutes what the actual value prop here is and get them to understand that and get them to kind of buy into it as well.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, kind of before we wrap it up, I'll shoot a quick one, Anthony, right now, since you're so involved in this space. But if I had to ask, like, what's the one thing right now that excites you the most about ETH? What are you most excited about, or what are you most kind of bullish on, I guess, in the near term or short term?
One thing that's really, really hard to pick. I think like, if I had to pick one thing, just because we've been waiting for so long, I'd say ETH2, like the first stages of ETH2 going live this year is definitely what I'm personally most excited about. But if I was to stick on ETH1 and what we currently have today, the most exciting thing for me right now is the scaling kind of tech that's going online. As I mentioned, optimistic rollups all the smartest people I know are talking about it and are really bullish on it. So that's what I'm, really excited to see more projects take advantage of and actually get scaling on Ethereum finally.
Awesome. Perfect. Great answer. Johan, I'll throw this one to you before we wrap it up. What's on ETH itself? What feature do you kind of most excites you that you're seeing maybe coming out in the near future with 2.0 or some other feature?
Yeah, I think I'm in the same position as Anthony. Like, picking one is kind of hard. If we're talking at the core level, right, I think scalability is going to be of huge importance. Now, the way DeFi works currently, I think that having more scalability will allow for heavier computations and heavier kind of like, it's not only about transaction throughput, right? Like being able to compute more stuff and being able to have more use cases on Ethereum itself, I think is going to be a huge importance for some DeFi protocols. So that's what I would be the most excited about. But overall right now, I think much more about the ecosystem which is forming around Ethereum. Because even though I'm waiting for Ethereum 2.0, I think that what we have right now is currently much better than whatever we have in any place, So I'm very happy with what you have right now, and I'm more than happy to see the ecosystem grow extremely fast. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Johan. Well, that kind of wraps up our video Q&A for today. I want to again thank Anthony for joining us, who took time out of his busy day, Johan for joining us at 4 a.m. In Paris, and all the community members who viewed the stream. I'd also like to thank again, Set Protocol team for obviously making both the integration and Anthony working with me to make this happen. We're looking to do a lot more of these in the future, so please make sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to, hop on and see these live streams, as we're all stuck at home. So we're aware of that. So we're trying to produce content so that you guys can have some stuff to view while you're stuck at home. So thank you again for joining us. Again, Anthony, Johan, thank you again. Have a great day. Stay safe, and looking forward to the next time.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.